Welcome to Boredom Talk with Stephanie Cochran.
Hi.
Stephen Cochran. And me, your host, Jessica Clark. Welcome to Boredom Talk with Stephanie, Jessica, and Stephen. Today our 4 topics of the day will be tattoos, sex, relationships, and video games. Maybe a little bit of pranks thrown in with that. Stephen, you jokester.
Relationships.
So our first topic of the day is tattoos. Now, tattoos, while a very controversial subject, can be a good thing to some people, a bad thing to some people, and sometimes they're sexy. Have you ever found a man very sexy because he had a lot of tattoos?
Oh yes, very. It's actually a turn on to a lot of people.
It is. That's funny too, that tattoos can be a turn on. Of course, some people see tattoos as more of a form of expressing yourself. The body art is what's made out to express what type of person you actually are. So it's kind of like having a book right on your body.
Exactly.
Hence
the phrase, you can read me like a book.
Ah, yes. See, you can read someone with tattoos like a book. All you have to do is look at their body.
What about you, Steven? Have you ever found a girl with tattoos that was extremely attractive?
Yes, I have. Very attractive.
What kind of tattoos on a girl would you say would be attractive to have?
I would say my favorite thing would be angel wings on the back.
Angel wings on the back.
Angel wings on the back is pretty, it's very sexy in a way because it's like the wings of love.
Wings of love gives them kind of an innocence to them.
Angelic.
Very good, very good.
Angelic.
There you go.
You know, I just think, just not tattoos, piercings are very sexy. One thing.
Tattoos and piercings do come hand in hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do. What's one piercing that you do not like on a guy?
The one piercing I do not like on a guy that is very hard. Well, I think one would have to be the tongue ring on a guy. I really don't.
Tongue ring.
I don't really see how.
Right.
Nose rings. I don't really like now a nose ring like right here, like for women, especially for
I
me,
think it would be very
a little diamond, ring like that,
Yeah.
but like a big ring that makes you look like a bull.
That's what I can agree
Or
with.
a door knocker.
Or a door knocker.
The ring that goes right there is completely unattractive on anyone, man or woman, if you ask me.
Mostly women.
Mostly women. It's more unattractive on women, but if a man has it, it's just, what's the point in that piercing, you know?
Or the thing that, the piercings that I don't like is what teenagers now call are snake bites.
Snake bites. Now, I have to argue with that myself. I find snake bites attractive. For what reason, I do not know, but...
I just feel like I'm making out with the front end of a car.
Now, a lot of men really think belly button piercings
Belly buttons are cute.
very cute and sometimes sexy. Belly button piercings for me is sexy. Tongue piercings. I love tongue piercings. That is really good. Now, but the nose ring, no. Ears, absolutely. Tongue, belly button pierce is a plus for me. Not the nose. Not the big ring on the nose, but like a woman, or like the Marilyn Monroe look.
Yes,
The
Marilyn Monroe is a very popular piercing.
What about the eyebrows? I think on some guys the eyebrow can be...
On some women, I have seen with an eyebrow piercing is very attractive. Men, I can't say this thing about men because I have
only seen one guy with a eyebrow piercing. I thought he was very good looking.
Wow. Some people say that, some people that I've discussed eyebrow piercings with, say that they believe that an eyebrow piercing makes the person who has their eyebrow pierced look mean. Oh, what are your...
I can understand that.
I don't think it makes it look mean. I think it's just an expression. I mean, if I had a piercing, it would be on my ear. Not really, say, on my face or my mouth, or on my body, I would, say, I mean, as in like my torso area, my nipples or anything. That's another thing. Nipples I can't really approve of because, one, I mean, guys, we like to do the motorboats. Okay, we're doing this. We're not going out catching fish. We don't want to get that ring locked in our mouth.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I have to appreciate that comment.
Let's see. I lost my train of thought here. Dang it. I was going to say something about piercings. Oh, I think when you were talking about the piercings looking mean, I think that's stereotypical because of the gangs around. The gangs, the guys have their eyebrows pierced and they look intimidating.
That's
Gang members
also,
and gothic people.
That
Gothic
is.
people tend to be more into
I mean,
the eyebrow
piercings and tattoos. I mean, gangs in Texas or California, they have the gangs tattooed on the arms, or a piercing, or back in the day, this is going on for my history expertise, back in the day, in the Western age, men of different gangs used to take bullets and make a symbol on top of the bullet to verify anybody that was in some kind of a gang. It's like tattoos of the day, or throwing up signs. Back then, you would throw up a bullet, and you would show them to the other guy, and if he says, okay, you're with this gang, okay. That's how they done it back in the day. So there's ways to show that you're in a gang, or trying to express yourself through a tattoo, piercings,
or clothes.
Or clothes, And I mean, that's my opinion about body arts, tattooings, piercings, or anything.
Well, see, a lot of people don't like tattooing because a lot of people look at the body as a temple. Like
Correct.
you're destroying the temple.
That's what it says in the Bible. In the Bible, your body is a temple. Okay? But let me ask you a question. I'm not like saying everything. I'm not saying anything bad about the Bible or anything. But didn't people back in the day draw in temples?
Yes.
Yes.
Hieroglyphics.
Caves.
I know that probably is like, awkward. I mean, not really awkward, but like different to say because, I mean, obviously our bodies are not temples.
It is definitely a tender subject.
It is a tender subject. But, I mean, back in the day, when the Bible was being wrote, or whenever, the temples were drawn in, markings, pictures, or anything. Our bodies are supposedly a temple. We express ourselves.
You don't leave a temple blank.
You don't.
You decorate it, make it finer.
But that is a touchy subject. Some people agree and some people don't agree.
That is a lot with some of today's most controversial issues.
Mm-hmm.
And those issues will never die.
The problem with tattoos to begin with is that people who originally got tattoos were the people of I can't figure out the word. Not necessarily lower society, but people that other people looked down on as usually criminals, biker gangs, people who did bad things had tattoos back in the beginning of tattoos. Tattoos, they did not start out as a beautiful thing, a way to decorate your body. A tattoo started out as a tattoo started out as a way to show what crew you're rolling with, or so on and so forth.
Or talking about literature, what about the Scarlet Letter? She wore, people were branded in those days. They wore a D on the forehead if they were a drunk.
Correct.
Or, well, except for on the Scarlet Letter, Hester, she wore the S as a or an A for the symbol of adultery.
Correct. We will cut to a commercial, and we will see you when we get back. Fade out with music.
Second day we go on tomorrow. He's going to be so excited. That killed him.
Welcome back to Boredom Talk. Welcome back to Boredom Talk. Our next subject, sex.
Ooh,
What a topic.
yeah, sex is very, very out there for today. Sex is a good thing and also something that you just can't abuse. You know what I mean? It's for a purpose, not just to go mess around with.
Correct. Yes, I have to agree with you, Stephen. Sex is, obviously, sex is for procreation, making babies. Now, see, in the wrong hands and the bad opportunity between two people who just really want each other, sex can be a very bad thing.
Yeah, I think that sex needs to really be between two mature people. Because if you put two immature people together, things can happen, unplanned pregnancy, or you have somebody who you could, give you a disease.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be, it's one of them experiences where you have to wait until you're old enough to handle the consequences.
That's a big problem today. People
Yes,
don't.
it is.
People don't wait until they're old enough to handle the consequences.
No, they want it then and now.
Mm-hmm. They let
Just because it feels good, yeah, it might feel good, but also everything that feels good doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come out good.
Just because it feels good does not mean it's good for you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because the baby's going to pop out, you're going to have problems there, or disease.
Exactly.
Time is up. All right. We will cut to commercial, and we'll be back after these short messages.
Oh, no, refund me, sir. Thank you very much. I bet you'd like an autograph, huh? Whatever. Yeah. I can't believe it's me either.
Okay, and welcome back. We are on our final subject, relationships.
Well, I think we all know what that is.
This is our big subject of the day. Stephen, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thought is relationships is just, it's either you want to be in one or you don't. You got to think relationships, you got to maintain appearances, or they're going to think you don't care about them no more. You're going to want, you have to be committed to being in a relationship. So it's either are you a committed person or you're not a committed person. Or do you just want to date this one person for a week, move on to the next person? That's what people call men bachelors. Bachelorettes, But so it's pretty much if you want to be committed into a relationship, then relationships are good for you. If you're kind of like, well, I don't want to eat one piece of candy for a year because you're going to get tired of it. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you don't want to eat the same piece of candy over and over again, so don't be in a relationship if you're like that.
Right. Yes. And my take on relationships is, oh shit, I just drew a blank. I knew exactly what I was going to say the whole time. And
Brain freeze.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to Stephanie.
I also think that a relationship, it's the mature thing, because you have middle schoolers and yet some high schoolers out there that are just not mature enough to handle a relationship. How many times have we been in school and we've heard, don't look at my man, or don't let, you get fights over girls, and what, are you supposed to go through life blindfolded?
Correct.
No. I'm sorry, but if I'm in a relationship and I see a good-looking guy, I'm going to look. Or with you, Steven, you're going to look at girls.
Mm-hmm. Just because you're on a diet doesn't mean you can't read the menu.
Exactly. Or
like the saying, like I always like to say, I might be in a relationship, I can still go at the end of my chain and bark.
Exactly.
That's as far as I can go.
That's how a lot of people are, is people don't think about the fact that, just because the person that you're with is looking at, this is a problem I don't have, because this is my mentality on it. Just because somebody that you're with is looking at someone else doesn't make any difference. You have to remember the fact that at the end of the day, they're going to come home with you.
Exactly.
That's your man.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
That's a lot of people have problems with strip clubs, the Chippendales, or whatever. They think that if they go to that, then they need that to come home to you. That's not true.
And the only way to eliminate this issue is to have 100%
trust. If you don't have trust, you have nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing.
That's the basis of a relationship. If you don't trust somebody, don't be in a relationship with them. I don't care if you love them. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
Alrighty, and that's all of our time for today. And we will see you in a couple of days. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye now.
Oh, I think that was good.
Okay. That was good.
That was great. Yeah.